Good evening, everyone. This is Harshvardhan Tiwari. I'm the project lead at Project Maverick. The idea of this project is of making legal education reach marginalized communities in every corner of the country. The idea is to create leaders and not followers. Access must be created where it is possible. And at Law Seco, we are doing this small thing of providing free training for law aspirant for all law entrance examination. In this particular session with us, I'm very happy that with us today we have Mr. Prakash Gupta, famously known as JP sir, especially in the CAT fraternity. He has a vast 16 years of experience teaching kids who are preparing for CLAT, CAT, IPM, BBA, even banking and other government examinations. He's a serial 99.9 plus percentiler in Quant and LR. And we are very fortunate and I'm very thankful to him that he has agreed to take session for Project Maverick. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. You can write your response. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. You are audible to us.
Yeah. Fair enough. So let's start today's session. Right. And as Harsh has already told about me, like my serial percentile. So you can look at my CAT percentile in different years across the years. In the this is my Blow Telegram account. So I'm also have created this Telegram account free for all students, those who have any sorts of problem in maths, DI, or reasoning. And now, so let's start about the today's session, that is DI. And DI is especially more important in CLAT because in new pattern, the all quant section will be based on DI. So we will be having around 15 questions. Now, before starting the DI, we must go through some basic points so that those who are joining me today first time, in fact, or if they have not prepared earlier, they can also attempt these questions. And you know that all maths or DI, it's all about the practice. So in this session, please have a pen copy with you so that you can participate actively, not just listening to me, right? Because you learn in these 30 to 45 minutes only when you are participating actively. So in this session, we'll be having lots of interaction rather than just listening to me. Okay, guys. So let's talk about what is important in the DI. DI will be based on the basics of math topic. It could be any topic. Primarily, it's based on the percentage, but as of now, we have DI from time, speed, distance, from time in work, from the other topic like mensuration as well. So DI could be from any quant topic. So if you have work earlier in different areas of quant, that will not be waste of time for you, right? Because from sudden change in the January in the pattern of CLAT, right, you might be thinking that now we have to look at the new things. It's not entirely new, just you have to look at the question in the form of sets rather than individual questions. So in DI will be question form in form of sets. Okay, so let's discuss some basic point related to percentage. So guys, as we know that 1 by 1 is something like 100%. What is 1 by 1? It's something like 100%, right? So why 100%? Because we use symbol percentage, that means 1 by 100. So if we multiply 100 with 1 by 100, it will be 1 by 1. And that's why 1 by 1 means complete, and complete means 100%. So these are very basic points I'll be covering within 5 minutes. Then I'll directly start DI sets, right? Similarly, if you take half of this, so half of the 100 will be 50%. If you take 1/3 of it, it will be 33.33%. If you take 1/4 of it, it will be 25%. So I have, is it okay with all of you? There are 9 participants. I think if you start, looking at the information directly. Okay. Now let's another example. Let's say we are comparing income of 2 persons. One is Sanjay, another is Vivek. And Sanjay income is $1,500 and Vivek income is $2,000. Now we have to look something in percentage. So what could be possibility? Look at this. This is just one of the question, right? Sanjay income is what percent of Vivek income? The question is Sanjay income is what percent of Vivek income? So here what is important, when we are converting Sanjay income into percentage, so base will be very important, right? We are comparing Sanjay income with Vivek income. We are comparing Sanjay income with Vivek income. So here we are comparing with Vivek, and that's why Vivek will be the base, and that's why we will divide Sanjay income by Vivek income. So here Vivek will be base. So any question related to percentage, so something to $1,500 is in 2000. So as a unitary method says that for one value it will be 1500 upon 2000, and that's why we have divided by 2000, because 2000 जब विवेक के पास है, then Sanjay has how much? 1500. That means when Vivek have 1, then Sanjay has 1500 upon 2000, and similarly when Vivek has 100, so if we multiply this by 100, right, we'll get this value in percentage. So to convert anything in percentage, it will be very simple point, like value divided by base into 100. So the only important point in percentage is that understanding the base. You must know what is base here. Now let's one more example for understanding the base. Now guys, can you respond this question? Vivek income is what percent more less than Sanjay income? Now we are comparing Vivek income with Sanjay income. So first we need to check out whether Vivek income is more or less. We can see from 1500 to 2000, it's $500 more than Sanjay. Now here we are comparing with Sanjay. Here base is Sanjay, and that's why base is changed. So in the second case, we have divided 500 by 1500, not by 2000. So that is this is the most important point that you always need to take care of in percentage or question related to DI. So it will be now 1/3, as we already discussed. 1/3 is 33%, or we multiply by 100, we will get similar value, 33.33%. Now one more last point before starting the DI portion. If 30% of X is 120, so can we find out 70% of X? This is called unitary method. Like 30% of X is 120. So if something 30% is 120, means 1% of X will be 120 upon 30. So in unitary method, whatever is given, that will come in divide. And now we require 70%, and that's why we have divided 30 and multiplied by 70. So our answer will be 280. Before moving to actual DI question, in fact relevant DI question for CLAT or any other competitive exams, it's most important we must know these basic points. What are these basic points? Like comparison, so percentage, understanding of the base, and second, right, you using the unitary method. That will be the case in all questions. So now guys, let's start with actual set. So this is a set of 3 questions. So I'm giving you the first question, and I'm also giving you time 1 minute to attempt this question. And it's a very simple question. Please try to find out the answer. Let me see how many of you get some answer. I'm still waiting. Nobody has responded yet. It's a very difficult question. You can respond through using chat box.
Shruti, you can directly write your answer on the chat box.
Even if you don't know the answer, if you don't understand that, you can also write in chat box. It's not necessarily you must know the answer or you have solved the question. I need to know that whether you are comfortable with this types of DI or not at all comfortable, or you got some 50% of ideas, so that I can start from that point. So I need your response to have an effective session for you. Just write in chat box. If you not understood the information, you can write that one. If you're not okay with the question, you can also write that. If you get some answer, then write it.
Sir, Shruti is saying that she thinks it's none of the above. And Ashish has also raised his hand. Ashish, you can write your answer on the chat box.
But no one has written in the chat box. No one has given any response in chat box. So I want, are they able to write something in chat box? Are they enabled for that?
Yes, sir. Uh, yes, sir, we are not able to answer, sir. We are not able. Ashish is saying that, and you can actually see it.
Okay, so can you check the setting, please, so that students are
The setting is okay. It's public for everyone.
right.
Shruti says it's none of the above.
Okay, so let's discuss the answer. It's not the none of the above. Now we'll get to know the right answer. First, we need to understand there is one for any DI sets. Very important. We need to read the initial instruction. In the initial instruction, it is given that out of total participant, 20 did not write the admission test. So those who did not write the admission test, they are already out of the discussion. So means out of 2000, only 80% write the admission test. So and the marks is given for those who have written the admission test, and that's why this table is not for 2000. This table is for 80% of 2000, that is 1600. So is it understood to all of you? Ashish has responded first. None of the above is not the right answer. Right, guys, is it okay with all of you that this data in terms of percentage given is not for 2000 but for 1600? Why 1600? Because out of 2000, 20% did not participate, and so only did 20% did not participate means 100 minus 20, that is 80% participate. Right, now further, the question is all about the those who got marks in the range of 21 to 30. Now if you look at the data clearly, so this 40% is not for 21 to 30. This 40% is for 0 to 30, because less than equal to 30 means any value from less than equal to 30. So it's a 0 to 30. So 0 to 30 students has 40%. It's the cumulative frequency, means previous data has been added. So 40% students has marks 0 to 30. Those who appeared, because it is initially given marks range wise for those students who appeared for the admission test. Right. So Bhavna has the right answer now. She said 240. I'll explain why 240. So can we say that 21 to 30 marks means 0 to 30 minus 0 to 20. मींस अगर हम 0 से 30 मार्क्स में से 0 से 20 मार्क्स वाला सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दें तो कौन सा डेटा आएगा 21 टू 30 मार्क्स वाला, एंड दैट मींस वी मस्ट सब्ट्रैक्ट 25 from 40, means 40% minus 25% equal to 50% students have scored between 21 to 30, and that's why our answer will be 15% of not 2000 but of 1600, and that's why the correct answer will be 240. Now is it understood to each one of you? Please write in comment box, chat box, so that we can proceed. Okay, yes, Asis, you understood it? Good. Shruti also understood? Okay, good. So initially no one has the right answer, but right now I think all of you get the right answer. Okay, I'm repeating, Harsi. Right. Now see the screen carefully. Just look at the information carefully. Right. I'm repeating just one more time. Just look at the information. Question is asking about in the range of 21 to 30, right? So we have to look at the data 21 to 30, while this information is given is from 0 to 30. So we cannot take 40%. And this information is from 0 to 20. So can we say that if we have to find out the marks from 21 to 30, then we have to subtract 0 to 20 from 0 to 30? Is this point okay? Harsin, is this point okay with you? Harsin, I'm waiting for your response. Is it okay with you? Okay, fair enough. So can we say that 0 to 30 is 40% and 0 to 20 is 25%, means 40 minus 25, 15% of participated students scored from 21 to 30 marks. So 15% of 1600 is 240, and that's the right answer. We have to find out 15% of what? Base will be 1600, not 2000. So guys, I hope this question is clear to all of you. Right. Now you have to try one more question on the basis of similar pattern. So look at the next question, second question. Now answer it. I want response from each one of you. Anyone? Yeah, Asis got 320. What about others? So far I have answer from Asis only. Okay, listen carefully. If you have problem in this question, First, you need to read the instruction carefully. If more than 40 marks is required to qualify for the exam, right? Then we have to find out the difference between those who qualified and those who are not qualified. So first we need to look at here, till 40 marks, we have 60% students. Till 40 marks, we have 60% students. So obviously, more than for 40 marks, we must be having 100 minus 60, means remaining. Okay, Shivangi also got the right answer. Good. So 100 minus 60 means remaining 40%, 60% students marks. If you get more than or less than equal to 40 marks, then 40% students get marks more than 40. So is it okay with us? Like 60% did not qualify, these do not qualify, this number is not qualified, and this number is qualified. So effectively, in terms of percentage, difference is 60 minus 40, that is 20%. Is it okay with all of you? Difference is how much? 20%. And again, this point is already clear to you. Like we have to find out 20% of what? Base, that is 1600. So our answer will be 320. Is it clear to all of you? The only point that we need to take care of, we need to understand how much percent students qualify and how much does not qualify, right? So since 60% students do not qualify, why? Because they have marks up to 40 only, and for qualifying we must have marks more than 40, and that's why remaining 40% students, these 40% students have qualified. So difference between these two, in fact, paper pen is also not required to solve such types of questions. So in CLAT or similar exams, question will not be difficult, but it will be slightly tricky in terms of comprehension of the question. If you understand the question carefully, you can easily get the answer. And you are not supposed to solve lots of calculation, because topic is data interpretation. It's not data calculation. So always remember this point. In DI, your calculation is not required. Your interpretation is more required. And that's why you do not have much of calculation in DI. However, you have lots of interpretation in DI. And topic itself says data interpretation. So we can look one more question from this set, right? To have more clarity regarding this cumulative frequency. Now this time answer all of you, because in the second question only three of you have answered. First question में किसी का आंसर नहीं आया था. This time I got answer from 3 of you. No one get the answer? Is it too difficult? Okay, so Shruti, you are guessing. Okay, no, Shivani, you are guessing. Okay, Ashish can't solve. Right, no problem. Just read the question again. by what percent is number of students in the range of 41 to 50 marks. So first try to understand how much percent students have marks from 41 to 50. This 85% is for all those who got marks from 0 to 50, and 60% got marks from 0 to 40. So can we think in similar way? If we subtract 60 from 85, we'll get 25. So can we say that exclusive 25% got marks in the range of 41 to 50? Shivani, Ashish and others, is it okay with you? 25% students marks got 25% students got marks in the range of 41 to 50, and 0 to 10 is already given. 0 to 10 is already given 15%. So very easy. So now look at the question. It's become a question of percentage. The students in the range of 41 to 50, right, is how much percent more than those in the range of 0 to 10. So can we say that either we find out the number of students, then we calculate, or we can say that in both cases, in 15% as well as in 25%, base is same. This is also of 1600 and this is also of 1600. Or in this question, no one is asking the number of students, and that's why we should not waste our time for taking the value of 1600, because if question is related to percentage or ratio, your actual data is not important, only your relative data is important. And that's why we can compare. What we can compare, that 25 from 15 is how much more? 25 is how much more from 15? We can say that 10 more than 15. Yes or no? Is this point okay with you? This gap is 10. So 10 will be divided by 15. Why by 15? Because we are comparing with 0 to 10 range. So here base will be 0 to 10 range. So can we say that if we divide 10 by 15 and multiply by 100, so we can directly say that 10 by 15 is 2/3, which is 66.66%, or multiply by 100. This is what I have written, 66.66%. Is it clear to all of you, or should I repeat it? Anyone want to repeat this question? Okay, so listen once again. Right, 0 to 50 marks students, number of students, those who have marks 0 to 50, have 85% students have marks 0 to 50, and 60% students have marks 0 to 40. So if we subtract 60 from 85, we'll get to know that 25% students have marks 41 to 50. First point is okay. And second point is directly given. 0 to 10 marks is directly given, 15%. Right, now we have to compare this. The students, those who have 41 to 50, how much percent more than those who have marks 0 to 10? Means we have to compare 25 is how much percent more than 15. And this is the basic point that I also have discussed in the first slide of percentage. Like how much more? 10. From what value? Base is 15. So divide by 15 into 100. This is what exactly I have done. 25 minus 15 divided by 15 into 100. So answer would be 66.66%. So guys, this is okay with all of you? So this is one category of set where there will be simple information but in a different format. Had it been directly 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 11 to 20, then it's become very easy. Still it is easy because this can be done easily, but this is an extra initiative which we have to take. This is a decision that we need to take, like how we get 41 to 50. So that make it something relevant, DI set for competitive exam like CLAT. Okay, Now look at some different variety of DI set. This is one. This is called as table chart. Another I have taken from different category. This is called pie chart and table chart together. Now, if you look at the questions, you can easily get this question is related to boat and stream. So as I already told you earlier, DI is not all about just solving question from percentage or profit loss only. DI could be from any area related to maths. So this is a one separate example, in fact, very good example for CLAT exams perspective, where you have to utilize your basic concept of boat and stream to solve this particular set. And to help you, I just tell you a very basic point. I hope guys, all of you know, in case of boat and stream, if we have to look at downstream speed, then if you take speed of boat B and speed of river R, then downstream, since rivers will support the boat, so it will be B plus R in downstream, and upstream it will be B minus R. This is very important point for boat and stream, and this is the only point that you need to take care of. That's it. And this all we know, distance equal to speed into time, or time equal to distance upon speed. This is a very basic point all of us know. So with the help of only this concept, we can solve any question related to boat and stream. We can solve any question related to boat and stream. Now you have to try this one. Ashish, you want to repeat something? I have not discussed anything yet. I just told you the basic point. Like if boat is going in downstream, then net speed of boat will be B plus R, means boat speed and river speed will be added. And if it's going upstream, means against the stream, in that case it will be B minus R. After this, we will discuss the question. We also discuss the concept. So can you try for this question, fourth question, anyone? Generally, students leave such types of question because they think we are not comfortable with boat and stream. So how can we solve the DIA part? Because there are lots of information. But however, if you try these questions, it will be easier than actual quant question, because the same information is repeated in all three questions. So it takes slightly time in first question only, and after that, because after this you will be comfortable with all types of data. फिर आपको data वाली problem नहीं आएगी. Then easily you can attempt any question. Again, key to crack any question is just look at the information carefully. What is given? So what is given here? What is given here? Just tell me. This ratio stand for what? ये ratio किसके लिए है? 5:4. Guys, can you respond in the screen? Chat box में ये ratio किसके लिए given है? It's not required your mathematical skill. Just you need to read the question. That's it. Just reading the question. Upstream, downstream, okay, but it might be reflecting one of the component, either time or speed or distance. तो 5:4 किसके लिए define है? Speed के लिए, time के लिए, distance के लिए, किसके लिए define? Not for distance. Yeah, Naudisa, you're right. Time. Shruti, just listen carefully. What is given? Read from the start, not just the last point. The total time taken by boat to cover downstream distance is, so this ratio stands for time, right? This stand, if this stand for time, so obviously we know that time equal to distance upon speed. So obviously in this question, we have to use this point. So how we have the ratio of time? By using distance and speed. Now look at this question is all about March. So in March, in upstream, what is the distance? Total distance is 300 kilometer, and through the pie charts you can see it's clearly given. March stand for something green line, green portion, that is how much? 25%. Am I right? Right. So not only 25% of 300. This will be the distance. This will be the distance for upstream in March. And what will be the speed in upstream? Because boat speed is not given. In fact, that we need to calculate. So can we say that boat, if we let boat speed is B, then river speed is already given in the question 5. Right, Ashish, 75 distance aayegi, right, for upstream. So is it clear to all of you the time for upstream in March will be 25% of 300 divided by speed of boat in still water minus 5. Is this point okay with all of you? First point, which I have something highlighted. Is this point clear to all of you? Because rather than repeating the whole question, immediately interrupt me wherever you have a problem. तो उससे आपका टाइम बचेगा. किसी भी पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पर आपको लगता है दिस इज नॉट क्लियर, so we should focus on that point only, right? Otherwise I'll be repeating the whole thing again, so that's consume extra time for you. Similarly, second case is regarding downstream. So in downstream we can see in March 16% is there, and 16% is for 500 kilometer, because here total downstream distance is 500. So can we say that now distance will be 16% of 500? Yes or no? And now speed will be B plus 5, Y plus 5, because in downstream speed will be added in speed of boat, and this ratio is given 5:4. Now we have to solve this equation. So try to solve this equation and tell me the answer. I hope that if question is clear, then if definitely you can make something like equation, and if you can make equation you can get the answer. So always focus on the question what is given here. Generally we do mistakes in understanding the questions. यहाँ पे जो 5:4 रेशियो टाइम का है, एंड दैट्स वाई टाइम के रेशियो से हमें इक्वेट करना पड़ेगा. और टाइम कैसे आता है हम सब लोग जानते हैं, डिस्टेंस अपॉन स्पीड. इट्स नॉट अ न्यू. Now still for non-math students calculation is a big problem. So guys, you also know that apart from the question, you also have option, right? इतना तो समझ में आ ही गया होगा that 25% of 300 is 75 and 16% of 500 is 80. Now after this, either we solve properly, we'll get 35, or we just try with the option. Let's say I try with 30. So if I put 30 here, so 30 minus 5 will be 25. Am I right? If I'm going with options, if I put 30, so this equation will be something like 75 upon 30 minus 25 is 25. ratio 80, 30 plus 5 is 35. Is this ratio equal to 5:4? No, in fact, this part is something 3, and this will, if you cancel out something, even if 7 will be here, 7 will not be cancelled out because certain division. So it will not be equal to 5:4. So if it's not equal to 5:4, that means first one is answer. So we can try for the second option. If we look at 35, so can we say that 75 and 35 minus 5 is 30? In the second case, 80 and 35 plus 5 is 40. Now if I cancel it by 15, 15 5s are 15 2s are, and again this becomes 2 by 1, and if you cross multiply, so it becomes 5:4. So this ratio is verified. That means this is a correct answer. So if we find too much problem in doing the calculation, so rather than doing the proper calculation, we can also use options approach. Is this question clear to all of you? Or still you need some more clarity in any particular point? किसी भी point पे आपको लगता है फिर से कुछ explain करना है, आप specify करिए, that will be better for you. Last part, I have taken value 35. Just try to put 35 in place of B, because find the speed of boat in still water. So the all option represent B. If I had taken 30, then it does not verify with the ratio of 5:4. Right, Shruti? And if I tried with 35, so if you put 35, this value becomes 30, and this value becomes 40. So 75 with 30 becomes 5 by 2, and 80 by 40 becomes 2 by 1. You cross multiply, so this becomes 5:4. This verify the thing, that's why this is a correct. So this is what alternate approach I'm telling you. However, by proper doing division, multiplication, you can also solve the question. So in the last, it was a calculation part only, either proper calculation or using the option approach. Okay. So next question now. Can you try it? Now can focus on the same approach. What is given, and according to what is given, you have to make an equation, then you know the answer. Right, Shivani. If we find calculation is too much, then we can check from the options. If we find calculation is too much, if calculation is not too much, in that case we can do it directly. So I have given alternate approach for those who are not good at calculation, those who take lots of time in calculation. Now guys, answer this question, because from first question you have understood the information part, you also understood the basic point related to boat and stream, right? And you also know what is the key to crack any question. This is I'm explaining to solve any question. Just focus what is given in the question. What is given? Connect with that. All of you can look at this information. Time is given, and also speed of boat in still water means B is given. So we have data something related to speed, but not the complete speed. And all of us know speed equal to distance upon time, and distance we already have from the graph. And this question is talking about downstream, so speed will be downstream B plus R, and R is given for January. No, R is not given for January. B is given here. B is given means in this question, if we take speed equal to distance upon time, so can we say that speed will be 15 plus R, which is equal to distance is how much for downstream in January? Yeah, Shivani, you got the right answer. I think you also understood the approach. So that's the way we can solve any question in DI, through practice and through following the right approach. Obviously, the major portion is about your practice, and at the same time your practice must has to be in the right direction, right? So always focus on the question, you will know the solution part. And here distance is how much? 22% of 500, and speed is how much? This time is how much? 5.5 hours. 30 minutes means half hour. And if you calculate this, so this becomes 110 upon 5.5, which becomes 20. So we can say that R becomes 20 minus 15. That is 5. Is this question is understood to all of you? ये question सब लोगों को समझ में आ गया? So was a easy question, right? बट जनरली क्या होता है, हम इसको देख के स्किप कर देते हैं बिकॉज डीआई है, सेकेंडरी है, बोटन स्ट्रीम है, जबकि बोटन स्ट्रीम में एक सिंपल सा पॉइंट रिक्वायर्ड है जो भी मैंने अभी बार बार डिस्कस किया, दैट इज बोट में अप स्ट्रीम में डिस्टेंस क्या होगी और डाउन स्ट्रीम में क्या होगी. तुम्हें पता है डाउन स्ट्रीम में होगी बी प्लस आर और अप स्ट्रीम में क्या होगी बी माइनस आर. एंड डजेंट मैटर आप इक्वेशन कैसे बना रहे हो, टाइम को इक्वेट कर रहे हो तो भी आंसर आएगा, अभी मैंने स्पीड को इक्वेट किया तो भी आंसर आएगा. लेट्स से सेकंड अप्रोच से करते हैं कि हम टाइम को इक्वेट करते हैं. So time here is 5.5, distance is 22% of 500, and speed will be 15 plus r. So if we solve this, it become 110 upon 15 plus r, and again cross multiply, so same thing, we'll get the value r equal to 5. So do not be much confused, like in the previous case हमने time को equate किया था, इस case में मैंने speed से equate किया था, doesn't matter, we can also equate with the time as well. So just try to connect the data, what is given and what is given or what is being asked and how are they connected. So since this topic is related to time, speed, distance, so obviously they will be connected through only this point only. Distance equal to speed into time, or time equal to distance upon speed, or speed equal to distance upon time. Same thing. Can we try for this one? इस सेट का ये लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, जल्दी से बताइए क्या होगा. What is given here? Distance is already given through the graph. What extra information do we have? Speed of boat in February. This is for February and this is for May. And what is required? Total time. So how do we calculate time? Time we calculate through distance upon speed. So try all of you, because for February and March both, you also have speed of river respectively for Feb and May, and at the same time you already have speed of boat. But remember, in February, you have to look at upstream. So in this case, your speed will be 19 minus 4. And in this case, it will be 14 plus 6. So tell me the answer quickly. How do we calculate time? Time equal to distance upon speed. To divide the distance with speed. And speed you need to take care. If you're taking in upstream, it will be B minus R. If you're taking in the downstream, it will be P plus R. Anyone answer? Shruti, Shivani, Ashish, Navdisa, anyone of you? What would others? RS, Mohammed, Aslam, Likita. Are you trying as well? शिवानी 6 आवर्स आ रहा है, देखो कहीं से कोई सिली मिस्टेक्स तो नहीं हुई। दो टाइम आएंगे, मेरा एक टाइम आएगा अपस्ट्रीम डिस्टेंस वाला और एक टाइम फरवरी के लिए। One is for upstream distance in Feb and another is, it's not too much of calculation, Ashish, I'll explain. And second is for downstream distance in May. If you do not mix the data, if you look at the data separately, it will not be any confusion. Just look at, in Feb, upstream is given. So time will be distance, that is 15%. This 15% is given of 300 and y divided by 19 minus 4. I hope it's clear. Yeah, Shruti, you got the answer. Yeah, Shivani, you also, I think. Guys, you can try now. I can give you another 20-30 seconds. I hope you got the hint how to solve these questions. Yeah, I'm waiting. The way we have find out time for upstream, in the same pattern, you also have to find out the time for downstream in May, right? Okay, yeah, right, Ashish. 8 will be the right answer. What about others? Guys, ये 3 hours clear है? How do we get 3 hours for upstream? Time equal to distance upon speed. Similarly, in downstream, yeah, 20% of 300. Sorry, 20%. कितना है ये? This is 20% of 500. So this becomes 100 and divided by 20. Why? Because it is a case of downstream. So we'll add the speed of boat and speed of river. Now we need to take care. This speed is for May. So why we have taken 14 here? Because it's given respectively for Feb and May. Means first case this is for Feb and this is for May. And accordingly, we also need to take the right data from the speed of river from the table part. So in the second case, timing will be 5 hours. So total time will be 5 plus 3, 8 hours. So you can see that these were not difficult question, but a different question because we have not practiced earlier. These questions are different for us because we have not practiced earlier. So if you practice it carefully, you won't be having any problem in any types of question in DL. At the same times, right, as sir told, like this is a free platform, so we can also offer any problem, any doubt support for any problem related to quant or DL. आपको अगर क्वांट डीआई में कहीं भी किसी भी मटेरियल से किसी भी टाइप की कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आती है, you can discuss in through this platform or using through my this telegram id. Okay, next. Now this is a last set for today's session, so just we can quickly try one or two questions from this and try to understand what could be another possibility. First of all, we need to understand the data, what is given in the table. There are two types of data, so never ever ignore the conditions. What is the condition? The data about 4 cities. The first column gives the percentage of viewer in each city who watch less than one movie per week. Means those who watch less than one movie per week, this data is given for them, and this is in terms of percentage. So all this data is terms of percentage. This is not a value. This is in terms of percentage. In the second case, it's related to viewer who watch one or more than one movie. So this data is for those who have one or more than one. And this is terms of value, not in terms of percentage. So if we add first and second, we'll get all viewers, because viewers will be of two type only, either less than one or more than equal to one. But we cannot add them directly because 60 is a percentage, it's not a value, and 24 is not a percentage, 2400 is a value. So first we need to connect them, only then we can do the calculation. So the important point is how can we connect them. So for your support, I'm just giving you one hint. Can you understood this? Think for one city only, because if you understood one data, you will automatically understood the other data. (2040) Shruti is not the right answer. I'll tell you why. Just look at the information, whatever I've given. Did all of you understood 40% of A is 2400? If let's say total viewer in city is A, total viewer in city is A. In that case, 60% watch less than one movie, means remaining how much? 60% अगर यहाँ पर है तो remaining कितना होगा? 40% ही तो होगा. Is it okay? And this 40% is 2400. So can we say that 40% of A means 40% of total viewer in city A equal to 2400? Is it okay with all of you? Is it clear to all of you? Because this is the main point. After that, you won't have any problem. If you have problem in this, please let me know so that I'll explain again. Okay, Shruti understood. What about others? Yeah, now this you understood also. Good. Now you connect. Similarly, in the case of B, if 20% watch less than one movie, so obviously 80% watch more than one or equal to one movie, and that's why, yeah, Shivani, right now you got the right answer. Okay, so 80% of B equal to 3000, and similarly 85% of C less than 1 means 15% of C is more than 1, and that is given 2400. So from here, if required, we can find out the value of ABC, but we should not waste our time in doing the calculation right now, because we do the calculation only when it is required. What is important? Just we need to connect it. Even if writing this is not important, just we need to understand only one point. This information is nothing but 40% of value of A. This is the key. If whosoever can crack this particular point will not having any problem in this DI. So you have challenged such types of challenges, and this can be overcome through practice of continuous practice of quality questions like these. These are very selective question. It's help you to understand the DI pedagogy in the CLAT. What types of DI question will come, and how DI will be a problem for you, and how can it be easy for you. Right. So can we say now, those who have not the answer yet for the 7th question, can we link in this way? 15% of C is 2400 from this particular information, and question is asking about less than movie per week, and we know that in city C 85% have watched less than one movie per week. So that's why we have to calculate 85% of C. So we can simply use the unitary method. In 2400, 15 will be divided and 85 will be multiplied. So this calculation turned out to be 13,600. Shruti, is it clear to you? Initially you got something 2040. Yeah. Can we try one more question? Just last question for today's session. However, I have lots of other questions, but because of, we have already spent sufficient time, right? So we can just try one more question to have clarity of these types of sets as well, or we can try 2 more questions. That's it at the max. So what about the answer for this question? Think of this. Obviously, this is already understood to you. ये तो आपको पहले से ही समझ में आ गया, तो अब आपको सिर्फ Ashish, definitely you can get more practice question for practice. For that you can contact us. We'll try to do something. Haseen, if you're talking especially from CLAT perspective, then I think look at any national level CLAT institute specifically, so you can get that particular material or photocopied material, right? However, for a specific particular book, I'm not sure right now. I'll tell you later. Otherwise, you can go for any national level institute study material that will be relevant. No, RS Rugwal I won't recommend, because you are not supposed to do lots of calculations and lots of questions. You require very limited work. So you need a concise book which have the basics of all topic. Basics of means percentage, ratio, average, basics of time, speed, distance. Just basics means 20 question at least in each category. That's it. And after that you have the DI sets related to from these topics. So there has to very specific book. So that could be possible only through the relevant national level institute, right? Any good institute, right? Not is, I think, in markets, as far CLAT is not as far CLAT is concerned, I don't think there's any good book available in the open market. एनसीईआरटी ठीक है, हेल्प करेगी आपको बेसिक कंसेप्ट करने के लिए, बट दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। आपके पास क्लैट की का जो मटेरियल है ना वो सफिशिएंट है, उसके आप कंसेप्ट एक बार बेसिक कर लीजिए अच्छे से। एंड बेटर फॉर प्रैक्टिस go for the mock text, because in mock test definitely you have lots of variety of good questions. Okay, right now you are in class 11, but you might or you can also do one thing. There is online site pdfdrive.com, so I think lots of PDF books are also available there. So rather than purchasing, you can try it just online for free. pdfdrive.com, sorry, www.pdfdrive.com. That is the website where you have lots of PDF books available. So rather than collecting lots of books, just check it through soft copy. If you find it very good and you want in the proper paper books, then you can purchase through market. Okay, shall we discuss about the question? Did anyone get the answer? What will be the answer for 8th question? No one? Okay, I'll explain. Again, the key to solve any question, just looking at the information carefully. What is given? Total number of viewers in city D is twice those in city B. So first we need to find out the number of viewers in city B. So can we say that 80% of B is 3000, means B will be 80 will be divided and 100 will be multiplied. So it will be 3750. Is this point okay with you? ये पॉइंट समझ में आ रहा क्या? क्योंकि डी के व्यूअर आपको पता चलेंगे जब आपको बी के व्यूअर पता चलेंगे। नहीं आया समझ में? फिर से देखिए, 80% ऑफ व्यूअर बी इक्वल टू 3000, दिस इज ऑलरेडी गिवन इनडायरेक्टली इन द क्वेश्चन। यहां से लिंक हो गया कि ये 80% ऑफ टोटल व्यूअर है। सो इफ 80% ऑफ व्यूअर इज 3000, then use unitary method. How much will be 100% of the viewer? 3000 will be divided by 80 and multiply by 100. I hope you can do this easy calculation. Ashish, yes or no? Right. So did we get the value of 750 for total viewer of city B? And since D is twice of this, so if we take twice of this, means viewer in city D is how much? 7500. Now we have one more information. While the number of viewers who watch less than one movie per week in D is same as city A, so we also need to have data that 60% of A kitna hoga, because this value is equal to number of person in city D. So if we calculate this, 60% of A means 40% is 2400. So 60% will be 40 will be divided and 60 will be multiplied with the same logic. So this will be 3600. Now think this whole total, their summation is 7500 and this part is 3600. So what should be the value of Y? Because we are not supposed to do calculation in terms of percentage, because that is not being asked. तो मैं x को परसेंटेज में लाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, सीधे x की जो वैल्यू है एक्चुअल 3600 वो हम 7500 में सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दें, then we easily get the answer. Is it understood to all of you? क्या ये समझ में आ गया सबको? Is there any confusion? श्रुति confusion है बताओ जल्दी से. You said no. Just write in chat box your concern. Shruti, hear me? Okay, the part about viewer being same in city A and D. This is about the who watch less than one movie. So one movie वाला जो value है, in terms of value, not in terms of percentage, in terms of value, number of person, not the percentage of person. So number of percentage person, if we calculate for A, this turned out to be 3600. First, let me know कि आपने मैंने ये जो 3600 कैलकुलेट किया ये आपको समझ में आया नहीं आया. Shruti, is it clear 3600 or not? Because 40% of A is 2400. So with the help of unitary method आपको कैलकुलेट करना है कि 60% of A कितना. Shruti, is it clear? Now, so if this is 3600, this also be 3600. So I hope it's clear to all of you now. Still there is any confusion? Yeah. So now the last question for today's session, right? Before ending this session. Now tell me what should be the answer for this one. So the last question. I think it seems to be very lengthy question, lots of information given, even if in terms of percentage. Comparison of city C and D. Yeah, Shivani, not a problem, right? But just read the question again. Number of viewer city C जो जो watch करते हैं more than one movie is 400% more than those who watch in city movie in C. Means यहां से जो डेटा है C वाला, D वाला जो डेटा है वो यहां से 400% ज्यादा है. So we can find out this value. No, we find out the value of X in the previous question, not in this question. So we cannot use the information of previous question. Yeah, Ashish, 9600 is not the right value for Y. Why not the right value? Because 400% ज्यादा है, यानी means 9600 तो हमें add करना पड़ेगा. So effectively it becomes 12,000. और फिर आगे बताया गया कि 50% ग्रेटर है जिन जो एक मूवी से कम देखते नहीं, इससे ही 50% ज्यादा है. अगर इससे ही 50% ज्यादा है मींस अगर ये 100 है, अगर 100 ले लें x को तो y 150 हो जाएगा. और 150 पार्ट आपका 12,000 है तो 100 पार्ट आपका 8,000 निकल के आ जाएगा. फिर इसको हम परसेंटेज में ला सकते हैं. कैसे? 8,000 is what percent of total 20,000 into 100. But it will be lots of time consuming. In fact, if you read this question carefully, it's the easiest question of this set. It's the easiest question, and I'll tell you how. Because question is not asking the value, question is asking the percentage part. So whenever you have to solve the percentage part, just focus on this only one point. that 50% more than those who do not watch movie in city D. Means if 100x is 100, let's say if x is 100, then y will be 150. Am I right? Guys, is this point clear to all of you? If I ignore the first point, I'll just focus on the second point, that those who watch more than one movie is 50% more than those who do not watch a movie, means less than one movie. So if we have to calculate in terms of percentage, we can directly calculate here. Why we need to find out the value? Can we say that 100, if we take 100, then this becomes 150, so total becomes 250. And if total become 250, so can we say that 100 is what percent of 250? So simply 100 will be divided by 250 into 100, and this we can easily calculate. 55 जा 52 जा and 5 से करेंगे तो 20 and 20 into 240, isn't it? क्या ये लास्ट शॉर्टकट अप्रोच समझ में आया? Yeah, Shivani, right. We need to find out the relation in terms of percentage only. So this is the easiest, while initially it seems to be that ये एक बहुत difficult question है, बहुत ज़्यादा information है, right? So that's why, as earlier I said, we have to practice more relevant question which focus on interpretation, because the whole CLAT paper is based on comprehension. So you will not be expecting lots of tough question or calculated question, right? But you have lots of question where comprehension is important. So I have taken all such types of questions where comprehension is more important than your maths. Yeah, right, Shruti. The first part was just to trick you. However, with the help of first part, you can find out exact value of x and y. But that is not important here, because that is not being asked. Had it been like find the number of viewers in D, those who watch less than one movie, in that case first information is required. When value is required, then first information is required. As long as value is not required, there is no use of first information, because x and y are directly related with the help of second information using percentage. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this session. I really like the way you have interacted in this session, right? So thank you. Have a good time. Whenever you have any problem related to quant or DI, right, you can approach to us, right? To that you can contact me.
Thank you so much, sir, for this particular session.
Thank you, sir.
Also, there is an update which is coming from Symbiosis University, that they have postponed SLAT 2020, and the forthcoming date will be shared with the aspirants. The aspirants who applied for SLAT 2020 have received an email in this regard. You can go through your email ID and check their particular email. Also, there is an update that they might be changing the mode of the examination. We will keep you posted with respect to that. Thank you so much, sir, for taking this session.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.